In 1982, a little-known company called StarPath created an add-on for the Atari 2600 that allowed the streaming of game data from audio cassettes. This eventually led to the creation of a game called Dragon Stomper. When compared to today's standards, this game looks primitive. However, it introduced gamers to a new way to play games. Because of its use of an inventory, statistics for the players, and turn-based combat, it is considered to be the world's first console role-playing game, also known as an RPG. Considering the great video game crash happened the next year in America, it's not surprising where the next great games came from. Games such as Dragon Quest on the Famicom continued to introduce gamers to this growing genre of games. These games took place in a classically medieval setting. However, it would take a new voice in the genre to allow gamers to experience RPGs outside of this type of setting. SEGA, formerly known as Service Games until 1965, was a company known for their arcade units in Japan and the SG-1000 home console. In 1985, they introduced the Mark III, the third iteration of the SG-1000 hardware, which was backwards compatible with the games of the previous two consoles. This was eventually released in the United States and elsewhere as the Sega Master System. Finally, on December 20th, 1987, a mere 2 days after Square released Final Fantasy, Sega released Phantasy Star. And this is where our journey begins. Hello, my name is Prince Brightstar, and welcome to the Phantasy Star Let's Play. Now, it is my goal in this series to not only take you through the game itself, but every now and then also inject some information about the development of the game. Without this game, none of the other games in the series would have happened. It also had a very unique title to itself. First pure console RPG to feature a main female protagonist. And you need to remember, this was in the age where the only females in games were damsels that needed to be rescued or had similar roles like that. This was a huge leap ahead, and while Samus of Metroid and Mary of Quartet had come before, Phantasy Star can still claim that title. There was another game that came before that used RPG-like elements, but because it was a combination of genres, I don't count it. Hence the pure portion of the title. Now, while I am playing this on an emulator, I own multiple copies of this game. That includes on the Game Boy Advance, through Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection, and Phantasy Star collections from the Sega Ages series. I'm just using this for ease of capturing footage. Anyway, let's get this going! Space Century 342, also known as After Weiss 342, Kennedy on Palma. Scum! Do not sniff around in Lassic's affairs. Learn this lesson well. Nero! What happened? Don't die! Alice, listen. Lassic is leading our world to destruction. I tried to discover his plans, but I could not do much by myself. I have heard of a man with great strength named Odin. Maybe the two of you can stop Lassic. Alice, it's too late for me. Be strong. I will make sure that my brother died not in vain. Watch over and protect me, Nero. Okay, and so we are now in the game at this point here. So, as you can see, this is essentially just your standard 8-bit RPG here. But there's a little bit more to it than just that. Let's go ahead and head inside this house. Here is the home of Alice, and Alice is the name of our main protagonist here. And if we go into here, we can see, basically this is what the main menu interface looks like here. We can see our statistics. Right now we've just got a short sword and leather armor, and basically we're level 1 right now. Now, before we head out anywhere else, I actually want to head inside here. And as you can see, this right here, this is basically what our dungeon structure is going to look like for this game. And this is actually very unique for its time here. You didn't see dungeons like this back then. Instead, basically what you would have is maybe 1 to 2 frames at a time moving as you move from one space to another. This game is extremely unique in how it has the fluid motion like this here. Anyway, there is a treasure chest. We do want to open it, and there are 50 Meseta inside. Let's go ahead and head out. so now we are back in Caminite. So let's go ahead and chat with some of the townsfolk here. In some dungeons, you will not get far without some sort of light. So what they're talking about is an item called a flash, and basically that's what we need to purchase at one point here to get some light in dungeons. There is a spaceport to the west of Caminite. Yes, indeed there is, and we will eventually be going there. I'm Nikisu. One hears lots of stories, you know, but some say a fighter named Odin lives in a town called Sion. Also, I have a Laconian pot given by Nero. That would be helpful to you in your task. I wish I could help you more. I pray for your safety. This Laconian pot. What could a pot possibly do for us on our adventure? Well, you're gonna see. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to one of these guards here. You may not pass. And as you can see, this guy looks like a stormtrooper in a way here. And that was actually intentional. Riko Kodama, who was one of the developers of this game, stated that they wanted to create a game that had elements of Star Wars, but wasn't entirely Star Wars. If you want to make a deal, you should head for the port town. So he's also talking about Sion there. Do you know about the planets of the Algol star system? I do, but let's say no. There are 3 planets: Palma, Modavia, and Dizorus. Palma is a world of green. Modavia is a world of sand. Dizorus is a world of ice. The Algol star system is currently facing a great crisis. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk to this guy over here. The Caminite residential area is under martial law. And that should be very apparent with the guards that we have in town here. You need a dungeon key to open locked doors. Very, very true. Now, these guys obviously aren't saying too much to us, and the reason for that is, by the time the development had ended, there was virtually no space left on the cartridge for anything else to really go into here. So they had to be very concise with what they were saying in RPGs back in these days. I'm Suelo. I know how you must feel, dear. No one can stop you from doing what you know you must do. But if you should ever be wounded in battle, come here to rest. Please rest yourself. You're welcome here at any time. And that sound right there means that all of our health has been recovered. Now this down here, this building here is a church. And right now we don't have anybody to resurrect. But this place can also tell you how much experience you need to get to the next level. So right now we need 20, but I'm not really concerned with that right now here. Let's take a quick look at these shops over here. This is an armory. Do you want to buy something? Let's take a look at what they got. So, leather shield, iron shield. I think this is ceramic shield. Obviously, pretty expensive here, and frankly, I am not interested in picking up a leather shield at this time. You'll see why shortly here. This is a first food shop. Would you like to buy something? So here, we can buy colas or burgers. And these are the equivalents of monomates and dimates in this game. This is a second-hand shop. And so here is the flash I was telling you about a short while ago here. So if we ever head into a dungeon, we are definitely going to need one of those. An escaper basically allows you to get yourself out of battle, and then a transfer allows you to transport to a different location. Anyway, let's go ahead and head outside of town. So as you can see here, we do have this forest right here. This place is actually a little too high level for us right now here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick out here, right outside the gate. And as you can see, we're already in battle here. So we are going up against a pair of Swarm here. And let's just go ahead and start attacking. So we gained 4 experience points. They had a treasure, and inside there are 6 Meseta. Now what I want to do is I want to get myself up to 75. And as you can see, early in the game like this, you are going to take a lot of damage. So we are going to be constantly going back and forth between outside the gate and where Suelo is. Here we've got another pair of Swarm. Alright, that finishes them off. Okay, so we should have 62 right now. Back to Suelo we go. And before we step outside, I'm going to bring up the menu. And we're going to save the game. We'll save it in slot number 1. And we'll just say Alice here. And saving is very important in these games. You can easily get wiped out without warning. Alright, come on. There we go. Okay, this pair could actually wipe me out here, so I'm actually gonna run away from this one. Okay, just a single Swarm here. Aha, so that one exploded there. There were 3 Meseta inside, but this is also why you want to make sure you keep yourself healthy in the early part of the game, so that you can actually withstand those kind of explosions. Okay, here's another encounter with 2 Swarm. Okay, we're at 71 right now. So 1 to 2 more battles should do it. Okay, here's a single Swarm. And so this is going to put us 1 Meseta short of our goal here. Now, since that didn't explode, I'm going to go ahead and proceed. Okay, we've got a single Scorpion here. Now, there's a chance this guy could actually take me out. But looks like luck is going my way here. Alright, so we just leveled up. Let's go ahead and open the chest. And we just had an arrow fired at us, but the good news is we now have all the Meseta that we need. So, before we do anything else, let's head up to Suelo again. Okay, so now let's go ahead and head over to this town. Let's talk to this guy here. There is an underground passage to the Gothic Forest, somewhere to the west of Paralit. And this town is called Paralit. To the east lies a port town called Saya, so we learned that over in Kamini as well. Medusa has been reborn and lives in a cave to the south. If you see her, you will be turned to stone. Now this is also based on the Greek mythology of Medusa as well. The forest is a dangerous place, which is actually very true. There were creatures in there that could still kill me right out at this point. From the spaceport, you can go to Paseo on Motavia. And we will definitely head there eventually, but there's a couple of things that we need. This is Paralit residential area. Yes, indeed. Okay, so I'm looking for a specific shop here, and this is the one. So this is an armory, and what we actually want here is the iron sword. And let's go ahead and head into the menu now. Let's go under Item, Iron Sword, Equip. So, what is this sword going to do? It's actually going to make us much, much stronger than we were before. I don't think I need a cola, and I don't think I need anything from the other shop here. So, let's go ahead and test out this new sword. So as you can see, this sword now allows me to one-shot those swarms. Okay, that chest just blew up. Let me check where my health is. I think I'm okay using the new sword here. Keep getting swarm after swarm. Okay, let's go ahead and head up to Suelo. I want to get one more level before we head over to Scion. Okay, 13 Meseta there. Here's another swarm. And here's a Paraswarm. So the initial moments of this game are pretty slow to get going, but once you actually do get going, you usually don't have to stop very often. There is a bit of grinding that you need to do, though. Here's another swarm. Here's another Paraswarm. Okay, and so we've reached level 3 now. go ahead and talk to Suelo and let's get healed up again. Alright, and so now we're gonna make our way over to Scion. And here we have the town of Scion. And we are going to check this place out on the next episode. Thank you for joining me today. This is Prince Brightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.